everybody for your patience. If you would, just make sure that the microphones are on and they are working, and speak directly into them. I am sometimes dropping some voices, so just speak directly into them. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Welcome. Check. Sounds good. Dave?
Yes.
Sounds good. Everybody can hear Dan when he talks. So. Ready when you are.
Ready. Live? Good? Okay. All right. Go ahead and call this meeting to order with the September 18, 2025 Cecil Township Planning Commission meeting. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Last meeting was the July 17th meeting. And
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
I'll abstain.
yeah, I'm going to end up abstaining as well, but out of the three that were present, two of them are here, so as long as they both vote for it, we're going to be able to move ahead with that. So we have a motion to approve in a second. So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. No, abstain, sorry.
Right. Is approved with the noted abstentions. All right, next item is the review of previous decisions. Jack, it's been a minute. Do you have anything for us?
Yeah, do we have anything? I'm going to add something later tonight that I received this afternoon, but what we met last in July, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we haven't had any major decisions since then, so.
Okay, yeah. It would have been the August Board of Supervisors or something that they pushed to September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about the MUC revision tonight. We talked about it in July, and I received the updated copy today. So I will provide that to you. It's a slight change, and when we get to ordinances and amendments, I'll introduce that.
Wonderful. All right, there's no old business on the agenda for this evening, so we'll move on to new business. First item is application 2025-0016, South Point 2, Lot 6 to 7, subdivision plan.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Mark Kuntz with Horizon Properties Group, representing South Point 2 Lot 67 LLC, which is one of our affiliated companies. I'm here tonight to present to you what we think is a simple subdivision regarding a single parcel in South Point 2 that has two buildings located on it. If you're looking at your plan sheets, this is South Point Boulevard at the top of the page, Horizon View Drive running kind of top to bottom on your page. CNX is on the left side, and on the right side, which is about a 10.5 acre parcel, is the parcel that we're speaking about that has the two buildings. The front building is the Doodlebugs Daycare, if you're familiar with that, and the other building is a multi-tenant building that once had the Fairmont Supply tenant in it, then had Med Express. Now it has some other tenants in that building. So again, that parcel is a single parcel. It's 10.5 acres, and we're here tonight to seek to subdivide it basically along this yellow line here. And really the reason to do this is a couple of things. One is just gotten a little bit more complicated through the years. We get a single tax bill as part of the parcel. We have to kind of prorate those taxes between the two buildings. Doodlebugs is a triple net tenant, so they individually pay their own taxes, utilities, insurance, and operational costs. So we have to kind of bifurcate that and put that upon them. They have like a prescribed piece of ground that is their license with the state. So rather than have like a lease boundary, which is what we have, we want to kind of put it onto a single parcel. And it gets a little bit complicated with our banks and lenders. So we've gone through, again, this is just an aerial photograph of the plan. We have a formal subdivision plan that we've submitted here for it, splitting the lots into 2.5 acres for the doodle bugs, about 8 acres for the multi-tenant buildings. Both parcels would have their own parking. Both parking would be fully per code to meet their requirements, to meet the ordinance. All the lot area requirements are met with it. There are no setback encroachment. It meets all of those requirements.
For the record, our office prepared the plan. This is a continuation of other work that we had done in the past there. And I had discussed this with the township in us doing this. I didn't prepare the plan. Jim Brethar from our office prepared the plan. We reviewed the plan in accordance with the ordinance. The only thing that we had them add was there was, as a part of the land development approval, there was an emergency turnaround that you could see on the aerial photograph, and that was added on as an easement. That was put at the end of the parking lot there just to make sure that there was another way out of this area and to turn around emergency vehicles in that area. So that was added on as an easement. Otherwise, the plan meets the requirements of the ordinance in terms of setbacks and other things that are required for a simple subdivision.
Is there a reason we didn't just adjust the lot line to include that?
Because it, like Mark said, that it was a prescribed lease line that they already had with Doodlebugs. The purpose of the project was originally just to do it on the lines that Doodlebugs.
Understood.
So made it an easement because it's on somebody else's it'll be on another property. And it's just labeled exactly the way it is on the land development plan.
And the reason for that emergency access is, again, there's another piece of ground over here. The intent is for this parking lot to extend into this kind of larger green space. But since that hasn't been developed, we created that. It's permanent now, but it's kind of a temporary emergency turnaround. And this does get extended, that'll become a permanent feature here as part of the development. So we just wanted to capture it through an easement, which I think totally makes sense for the development.
Yeah, I recall the previous development where came before this body to remove the undeveloped area between those two properties for the
Correct.
potential expansion
Right.
of the parking area, but that was quite a few years ago.
It's probably, maybe getting on about half a dozen years ago that we came in with that application.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think pre-COVID.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's no shared stormwater facilities that would need to be reallocated or?
There is not. All of the storm sewers are independent for it. They all have their separate utilities. The stormwater in South Point, there are actually 2 regional ponds that are completely off-site from all of the parcels there. So they all are standalone from a utility standpoint.
All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm assuming you already have the access easement in place?
Correct. And we do show that also on the plan. Again, we still own both parcels, but dashed in here, you can see the meets and bound descriptions.
I'm just, in case you would, for any reason down the road, sell the parcel to Doodlebugs.
Correct, that's correct. So yeah, again, on the recorded subdivision plan, we do show that access easement through here.
Thank
So
you.
that will be part of the recorded plan if there ever is an actual sale to separate the 2 parcels.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve application 20250016, South Point 2, Lot 67 subdivision plan.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is application 2025-0017 E.E. Taylor site plan.
Need a second to pull it up. Just so you'll know, this was in front of zoning hearing this past Monday. They did table it. But I also believe that you received the zoning officer's letter, more explanatory than anything else. I will show you what that, and I had a chance to see the, so from 467 Georgetown Road, it's on the right-hand side at the top of the hill before you start down into the, down to go to the train trestle, then on to Peters Township. This is a stored, well, it's a building. As you can see, there's the, I call it a church. I think it's now a somebody's home there. They're basically cargo containers with a roof on it. Georgetown Road is right below there. The driveway up into it comes up along the left-hand side, and you can see it. This is what you look at from the road for the most part. At issue at zoning hearing was the setbacks. This is the wall that they said that they had replaced, but they've got, it's basically 3 foot from the property line to the building, so it's pretty much ignoring the 10-foot setback. Dan, do you know anything more about this?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a post-construction site plan approval. So I believe that Liz has made them make application for a land development approval, given that it's was constructed without permits. So that's why it's before this board tonight, because ultimately it would need, if it's successful to get the variance that it's asking for, it needs a land development approval. The planning commission has to make a recommendation to the board of supervisors who would ultimately approve it. So we reviewed it as a typical land development. It's a very rudimentary site plan. And is the applicant here tonight?
They're not.
No, they're not here.
He never made it in on Monday night. I guess his wife or girlfriend did. She explained quite a bit, and they went into executive session, then came back and said, we need more information from you.
Yeah, so, I haven't been to the site, nor have I measured the site. But my concern about the plan is I don't know that it's even based upon a real survey. If you take a look at the plan, there's 2 plans that were submitted. One is a contour plan of property, and it's sealed by a registered engineer. And then that plan doesn't show the new building. This one right here. It doesn't show the building as constructed. The second building is called a site plan, and it shows the new building, and it labels it as being 36 by 20. Go back to the picture, Jack.
Hoffman?
Yeah, in my mind, this is bigger than it. The 20 dimension seems right on the trailer.
Yeah.
But the 36 does not seem correct. I measured it more like 6. So I'm just even questioning, did anybody even measure this thing to draw it on the plan? So the dimensional variance that the zoning hearing board may be considering, I hope they're leaving a buffer in that, because I'm not sure where the building is actually built on the plan.
Well, oh, I'm sorry, on the plan, you said?
Well, I mean, so Jack, they've not given anything. There's nothing here dimensionally that ties the new building to the property line.
No, it isn't.
So that would be the basis for whatever variance they need for a setback. So if it's, I don't know what the side yard is there, but, you know, it's probably 10 feet at least.
Yeah, that's what they were saying Monday.
So is it built to 3 feet, or is it 2.5 feet, or 2.2 feet? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was our first comment. You know, like, I'm not even sure that I'm looking at what I'm looking at. And then the basics of what's required on a site plan, we just listed those as A through E. And I mean, there's some basic information that needs added to the plan, and then we go F, location map, setback lines. You know, that's all the basic stuff. Number 3 is the basic information. So we're just asking for sort of the basic information. A grading plan or a minimum spot elevations must be provided in the parking area. They don't show the parking at all.
Yeah.
If you have parking, you have to have lighting in a commercial district. I don't know if there's any lighting there, if there's any lighting on the building or anything like that that would light the area if it's going to be used at night. They don't require stormwater because they're under, even if it's a larger building, I don't believe that they require any stormwater issue. And then that's pretty much it on my end. So I would just say my September 18th letter captures all the things that are missing from the plan.
Yeah, so Jack, the picture there, that's the existing, or is that the carport?
Well, my understanding, that's the carport, and that's what's in question.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow, okay.
And, I mean,
That's this elemental
Yeah.
container truss roof.
it went up about 6 months ago. And, you know, I know Liz was in contact with him since then, and, wow, that's it. And the wall here that you see, that's an addition. They said Monday that was a replacement to an existing wall. But as you can see, they're the basic concrete block, and they put another concrete slab on top of it, ornamental. Yep.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
that their contour plan of property doesn't identify that existing wall.
Now,
And
contour.
I'm with you.
Contours don't look like it either.
Yeah, that building looks, I mean, just,
Doesn't that look bigger than
it's
36?
closer to 46. If I had to.
Yeah, or something.
Well, that's why I thought it was the building in the upper left corner on the plan.
It just jumps out at me.
Yeah,
and
this is
says
called
it's-
a carport.
Yeah, you could see the trailer in there. You could probably at least put 3 or 4 cars in there. It's more like a garage, a huge garage.
Those
So-
are just standard Connex boxes on each side, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're probably using those for storage too, right? That's probably.
I would assume to keep tools and whatever else needs to
locked
be
up.
kept safe.
Yeah,
And so the one major issue is the side yard setback, which is 10 feet
Right, but
Right.
they're a zoning
they're-
hearing board for that.
Yeah. to get the variance to 3.
Right.
Yeah.
heading the maps.
I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I wanted to pull up the zoning map just so we can.
The other
8.5
interesting
feet
thing,
wide.
was this, is this
20 by
just
8.5.
a residential building? The other building is residential?
It was SNPJ.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Yeah, so it was basically a meeting place.
Right.
It's at least 40 feet, probably closer to 45 or more. And then there's the other issues that are brought up within Mrs. Ross's letter dated September 16th.
So you're that piece of purple, is that purple going along Georgetown Road there? No, is it Georgetown or Baker?
Wouldn't that be right? Because that's the park. That should be right here.
Hmm,
It's in C3, right?
Georgetown Road, though.
Georgetown Road, Circle Way. But wait a second. Well, no,
Hang
no,
on,
no,
go
go
back
back,
to that.
Jack.
Georgetown on
If you
Baker
make,
then.
when Georgetown Road comes up, Baker Road is to the left. Georgetown makes the right
Yeah,
as you come up there. So that's all Georgetown Road. It's down in the purple C3 area.
on here.
Oh, yeah, Circle Way.
Yeah. See
the right.
Circle Way in the back there? Yeah. Go back up, Jack. There you go. See that purple C3 in the right side?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's where it is.
I see. Okay. I lost track of that. Okay, I see where it is now.
Yeah, so it's, I'm not sure which parcel it's on, but it's probably right up next to residential.
Let me do one other thing, and again, I don't want to take up.
no, you're okay.
That address again.
Yes, sir?
You mentioned Liz has been in contact with them since the construction of this started. Were
Lawrence.
Well,
Sorry.
this is a result of, this is all the result of Liz saying, okay, you got to get a variance, you got to submit for land development.
They, okay,
So they're trying to comply.
okay,
So that's the purpose of tonight is that, like I said, it has to get a variance, but at the same time, she's saying, hey, you just can't get a variance and that's it. You have to run through the land development process like we make everybody else do.
And we have Gateway's letter dated the 18th.
Right. And we have,
So it's either a conditional approval or if there's a lot.
So according to the GIS data, the lot line is, the lot is actually with the adjacent, I mean, unless we can't trust those lines. Oh,
Well-
no, there you go, thank you.
I don't think that.
That looks better.
See, this is where that carport, whatever. That's where it's at, right
it's
there.
one tax parcel ID number though.
Yeah, yeah. I
Say
see
again?
now.
It's one tax parcel ID number,
Right.
so according to the county, it's all one lot. That might be a historic line there that was there, two lots together,
Yep.
and they got written as one deed. There was a de facto subdivision years ago, or combination.
My point was that the dash line didn't exist between between the lot and 480. So maybe the lot originally belonged to 480 and then flopped at some point later over to 476, but that's kind of irrelevant to GIS. Once you've put on that extra layer, it lined up.
See, traditionally, the dashed lines were intended subdivisions. I mean, this goes way back, you know, and you'll see those all throughout Washington County's GIS. So,
Well, what happened, Jack, was they were really separate lots.
okay,
And people wrote deeds. So that line probably still exists on some recorded plan. It was never eliminated.
I see what you're saying.
But because it's one parcel, they just draw it like that. Because if I go to the township's map, it's all one parcel.
Yeah,
I mean, but again, that's all, I mean, but it's in terms of zoning, if I turn on the zoning on the township map,
E1 Esri.
yeah, I got that up. So it's all purple. It's purple to the left, it's purple to the right, but it's R3 to the rear. So it looks, I assume they have the rear yard setback, which is probably, I don't know what rear yard is. And again, there's no dimensions to tie this to property line.
And Jack, you said this was tabled by the zoning hearing board.
Yeah, they asked for additional information.
Looks
So
like,
does it make sense for us to table this one?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's not much we can move forward with.
There's your, well, roughly 10 foot, that building. But it's the one that we don't even see on this, because I'm not sure when this was updated. You see it on Esri, Dan? The carport?
No, it's not there yet.
Okay.
No, it's relatively new.
It's on
Yes.
Google Maps.
I say Google Maps might show
Google's
it.
good. It's always my
Have that on here too.
I don't see any issues with tabling, right?
I think so.
Since they have to go back to the zoning hearing board.
There's too many questions at this point. And actually, the zoning officer has made markups on it, so honestly, the application they submitted to us isn't even accurate. So our options, I think at this point, the only logical options are to table or deny, or to just deny.
Well, I wouldn't deny it.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just-
I'm just giving
I'm
you
not
my
recommending it deny,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
opinion. That's right, it's an option.
Well, I'll make a motion we table the application. 2025-17 EE Taylor site plan.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to table in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion tabled. Okay. That closes out new business. Now we're moving on to ordinances and amendments. Mr. King.
Afternoon, I received a call from Tom Casiola about the MUC ordinance that we discussed in July, and I believe Dan altered it a little bit to be 25, is it 25 and over or over 25 acres and 25 and below?
Yeah, looks like he's splitting 25 and below and 25.
Yeah, 20, there's,
Less than 25 and 25
Yeah.
or more.
correct.
Okay. Tom asked that we add a category. He's calling it breakfast/lunch cafe. Not to be open past 3 p.m. and not to serve past 3 p.m. So that means it's not going to be like a restaurant.
Oh,
Ultimately, that's what you see in front of you with the new ordinance or the new version of the ordinance, and I'm presenting it to you simply to say that they want to add a permitted use that he is calling breakfast lunch cafe, not to operate after 3 p.m. Dan, did he talk to you about this at all?
Is it to the, both the, under the 25 acres?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that would just be if that's an added use.
Yes.
Is this the version that Gretchen updated?
Today, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I, just so you know, I put it out on the website. It's gonna be advertised on September 22nd and September 29th for the 6:30 hearing right before the October board meeting. So you said it's gonna be advertised for what date? It's, first advertisement for this hearing is gonna be September 22nd, Monday, September 22nd, and then it'll be advertised a second time on Monday, September 29th for the following week's BOS meeting. So that'll be October
For
6th.
adoption, right, at the BOS meeting in October? So once again, they're presenting an ordinance to us, asking us to make recommendations on it
Yeah.
the same night of the meeting.
Yeah. You've already reviewed this,
Yeah, now there's changes.
and I just stated what the change was.
Well, that, and
There's
they
one
took all
addition.
these other things out. Aren't these lines that are
That's
through
what,
here?
that's what we discussed in July. Those lines are a result of what was discussed in July. The only thing that is altered this since last you saw it was the fact that we've added, or the addition of the breakfast lunch cafe.
Section A.
Jack, I'm looking at the notes from July, and I wasn't here for that meeting, but I'm a little confused. It's talking about so the planning commission recommended section A2, a traffic study should also be required for high volume user, even if the parcel's under 25 acres.
That related to the convenience stores. Because when it was originally written under 25 acres, they had convenience store listed, but they didn't require a traffic study, but it was listed under over 25 acres and they wanted a traffic study. So I think Joe recommended to clear it up, like to say for high volume uses as opposed to low volume use.
It looks like they removed convenience stores as a use by right, but left it as a use by right on one front of the state roads. But now the traffic study requirement has been removed in those situations, according to what I'm looking at here. So either what we're looking at's wrong, or the Board of Supervisors chose not to follow that recommendation.
Dave, was that your recommendation? I mean, your recollection of what we talked about? For that, it wasn't, it had something to, I don't have my notes, because if I would have known it was
I
coming,
agree
I
with
would have
that,
brought
and
them, but.
I'm with Jason trying to find it in this new draft.
So, if
Do
I
we
could
have all
provide,
pages?
we
Here,
made
Jack,
all
we-
we made all the changes suggested by the planning commission, got it back to the solicitor to review. I would assume that some of these comments that are like stricken, maybe she was in discussions with the board member that's sort of championing this, and maybe this is what they wanted to present. So I would just say this is, Jack, would you say this is, other than what you have said this afternoon, this is reflective of what,
Current? This
yeah,
is-
what the chairman's putting forth?
Yes.
Well, and the other hot topic was the bed and breakfast,
Yes.
and I don't see that in here.
No, he
right?
changed it apparently to eating establishment, including restaurant, cafe, that only serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I could think that that's how he was trying to address it.
In part because Candy's suggestion and actual revelation that bed and breakfast is actually in R1.
Yes.
And that specific parcel is R1, and why would you change it to MUC when bed and breakfast is not even included in MUC?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
I think with this,
I'm having a little bit of a
if I,
brain moment here.
if I, I'm just, my thoughts are that when the solicitor revised this ordinance, she had to reflect the changes that were made from the original MUC.
Correct.
So she's stricken the things that change it and make it, anything that was taken away is stricken. I don't know how there was anything to add. That's my guess. I don't know, Jack, if there was any explanation when Gretchen passed it back over.
Nothing. I received no explanation, and like I said, I received this today. What I'll do is I'll follow up with her tomorrow, and I'll do a comparison of what I sent to her based on your feedback and what we received, and ask for a detailed explanation, if that's okay.
As far as the traffic study, it's under D2. It's crossed out. And I think part of that might be because you made mention that a big reason for that was for something like a convenience store. But convenience store is also crossed out.
It's crossed out under less than 25 acres. Does it
Yes.
say so?
Well, but it's included in less than 25 acres when fronting a state road.
Right. Just like they're the one that's up there right now on Georgetown Road in Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what's written in the minutes from July about the recommendations of the planning commission, and looking at the document that we're reviewing now, and
Okay.
section, letters, numbers, none of it's lining up.
Okay. What I forwarded was exactly what was sent to me. I believe it was handwritten changes in blue. And, I believe everybody that needed to see that saw that. And like I said, I will follow up tomorrow and give you a detailed explanation.
Can you put the existing MUC,
But guys, just to be clear, so who's on first? The solicitor never saw this until after you guys commented. So you didn't see a solicitor version, so this is the scrubbed legal version by them reviewing it and making recommendations. So I wouldn't take offense at it.
no, I'm just trying to make sure that whatever was recommended, I'm trying to discern, were our recommendations included, or were our recommendations not included? And if they weren't included, was it because,
I can tell you specifically that I changed it before I gave it to the solicitor to reflect her recommendations. I did it myself.
sure,
So that's what ultimately, I explained that and got that to Gretchen. When I got it to her, I told her that, the process that would had happened, that the planning commission reviewed it, we incorporated their changes, and then I think there might have been a change or two that Tom still wanted to it, and then it went off to the solicitor, and maybe she's just put it in a form that she can describe it, because things that are crossed out are crossed out, and then the add-ons, like if you go to, it looks like they underlined the add-ons.
yeah, I think it said that in there.
Yeah, right?
So, but, yeah, because one of the recommendations was to include crematorium with funeral home, because it previously said funeral home not including crematorium as a use by right on fronts. Well, now it's lined out. Which one are you looking at? On 25 acres or more, maybe. Yeah, 25 acres. But on less than 25 acres, funeral home not including crematorium was removed as a use by right. Yeah. So crematorium is still, crematorium is a conditional use in the greater than 25 acres. And it's not permissible in less than 25 acres at all.
Dan, is there a reason that a traffic study isn't required if it's less than 25 acres? Do you know? I mean, I'm asking what the reason is that under 25
I mean,
acres, there's no
it's-
traffic
it's-
study.
It's just a preference,
Okay,
that given that, I believe the area that they're looking at to do this, most of these are smaller parcels. So you're probably, unless things are all accumulated together, they'll not get to this over 25. So the under 25s are going to be maybe 1 or 2 acre parcels. And I think this is slated for the area over along near Baker Road intersecting with Morganza.
Correct?
That's the idea where they want to implement this.
Yep.
And if you look at those parcels over there, unless everybody would get together, you're probably never going to get to 25.
Well, I'm kind of with Christie on this. A developer comes in and purchases up a number of lots. A parcel of 24 and a half acres is still a pretty sizable development and could have some significant impacts on traffic within the community,
Yeah,
especially in that specific, area of the community, the immediate neighbors. So I'm still a little bit at a loss as to, what we're attempting to
We just
accomplish.
want this, right?
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm just trying to understand it.
I can't.
I can't either.
What I'll do is I'll compare the two documents based on your suggested revisions from July. I'll put them together and I will talk to the solicitor about it. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
I'm seeing too, nothing about farming or anything,
It's on A,
in the over 25 acres.
over 20.
And I'm just curious because I believe that large parcel off of Baker Road, it's a long driveway before you can go back.
and
I
you s-
believe it was recently sold. And
Okay,
I don't know if it's over or under 25 acres.
okay. Off of Baker Road, okay.
What are you looking at?
There's Delavades and then,
No, I mean, what was the,
Over 25 acres doesn't have anything that I'm seeing as far as farming
right.
as a use
Why
in
wouldn't we
any
allow that?
way, shape, or form. And I don't know, I'm looking at a parcel that is on Baker Road. So if you go through the roundabout, you're on Baker. There's the house that has like the Halloween skeletons in a lawn chair. And then there's a long driveway next to it that goes back to a property. And I believe that property was recently sold, and I don't know if it's over or under 25. But I could see that property potentially being used for farming. And that's why I'm just saying, hey, if it's over 25 acres, would we want to include that in mixed use or not? Because that is the one larger parcel. A lot of the other ones are much smaller.
You're talking about the one coming down the hill.
Here, right
Yeah.
here.
here,
No.
Nope.
On Baker.
On Baker.
Right there,
Yep,
right below your mouse, just to the left.
yep. So I think it's the one that ends in 05. When you,
Zoom back in.
yeah, zoom back in,
this
right
one,
there, yeah.
10. 10.7.
Okay, I just wasn't sure how big.
But even to your point, there's certainly enough land there for someone to purchase multiple lots and.
honestly, I don't think the intent was to go that far back on Baker. I thought the intent, and
Right
Jack,
here.
if you could correct me if I'm wrong, but if you could point to the board, those lots that front
right here, yep.
along Morganza were the ones that they were considering for this.
Right in there.
We already have it though, right?
That's the map that I provided back in July.
But we're looking at. We're also looking at any changes we make here would be to any MUC district.
And you see, yeah, the ordinance itself, that's
Yeah.
what
Right.
we're looking at, but
I think-
this is what started it.
So this is odd in that we're developing a new ordinance, right? We haven't yet selected the property that it's going to be put on.
Right.
So it's almost like you almost have to look at this as a standalone, and then when the board actually decides that they want to rezone an area, then it's going to come back to you guys to look at. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be as concerned about where, I know I brought it up, and I apologize for that, where the intended use of it is, but I think you should focus on just, no matter where this is going to go, are you okay with it?
Well, I appreciate that, and that's kind of what I was saying was, I'm not worried about, the area and the size of the lots and chances of somebody buying
Right.
our lots. I'm just looking at the idea of MUC wherever we might have it or wish to put it with the township. Do we want to create a situation where somebody could have 24 and a half acres, or 24.99 acres under their control, do a commercial development, and we not do a traffic study? I don't think that's a wise
Well,
move.
maybe the recommendation is, instead of taking out the traffic study, a traffic study including shall be required, as on an I don't know, an as needed basis or as determined by the township board of supervisors. You know what I mean? Like, they could require it or not. Like, right now, it's not required at all. But at least give the option that it's in there for under 25. But don't make it mandatory. Does that make sense? Yeah. That way you protect, at least you have the protection there if you think it needs it.
Well, we're double lining it, so
Well, and that was the recommendation last month, right? That's in the minutes.
That was the recommendation that Joe gave last month when we talked about it. He recommended as instead of like as needed or whatever, like if it's a low volume business, like say it's just an office where maybe 2 or 3 people would be coming versus a high volume, which would be more like a,
Yeah, but then you
You
get
know.
into definitions of low value, volume and high volume. I think you just leave it open that, a traffic study may be required by the Board of Supervisors and
Okay.
not shall.
and then my question for you, Dan, is, I may be missing it, but there's no, it says under here for less than 25 acres, there's not going to be any, it doesn't have to be served by public sewer and water. That's crossed out. So if you look at the uses, like what would an assisted, I'm asking because I'm not sure, what would an assisting living facility, how would they do that if they don't have to be done by sewer, public sewer and water?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, to me, some of the uses seem like they would have to have, and I don't understand why they would take that out, for most places.
Well, because there is no sewer and water in areas that they're looking at. I think I was the one that probably.
Well, I know
I was the one
why,
that
where
probably
they're,
pointed
yeah.
it out.
then do we want commercial development there yet? Or do we want the need for commercial development to drive the push of water and sewer to those areas to enable that property to be developed for commercial use, or to put it back to the developer of the property to work with the water and sewer authority to bring in?
Well, if somebody had an existing structure there that they wanted to use for some commercial business, let's just pick a parcel along Morganza Road. If they had adequate septic there,
Then they can apply for a variance.
well, a variance is a hardship. So what's their hardship that they, you know what I mean? Like,
That public water and sewage is not available. So
but in reality though, like, you're not gonna get anything major without public sewer and water because the DEP would never approve it.
I agree.
So I think the idea of the under 25 without sewer and water, although some of the uses I agree with you, Candy, would require public sewer and water. The intent was that if there was if there was an existing building there that wanted to go commercial, that it had septic and had public water, or vice versa, that it could be still developed into a commercial use, one of these smaller intensity commercial uses. I think the whole goal is just to try to promote something to happen or encourage it to happen. That's the intent of the ordinance. And again, it's sort of like everything else. It develops and then it kind of morphs into something more. You know, when you start looking at the details.
My only point is I understand that, like, some of these, say somebody wanted a bakery and they bought a house, you know, and they opened it up and, you know, it was just a small
Yeah.
little bakery. I understand that. But it almost seems like some of these uses that they still left in here cannot go on a little parcel and would have to have, with the traffic volume of people in and out, would have to have some type of sewer and water.
Well, I agree,
I mean,
but-
so
but, okay,
I don't know. I mean, maybe some of these uses that they still left in that are more demanding, maybe they need to take some more out and just make it like little small places, like a bakery or something that could be contained within a home or something that's along there. I don't know.
To your point, I mean, what is the water and sewer necessities for a convenience store or for a florist?
Yes, or a daycare center. A daycare center has to
Daycare center would
have.
at least have more demands than
Yes.
those
Any
businesses.
commercial development can apply for a holding tank.
Sure.
So in reality, you could take care of sewage by that. If you have public water and a holding tank, you'd be fine. And we have a number of businesses in the community that have that.
Sure. So there's options there.
But to Candy's point, the only thing I was saying is that the township is not dictating what people want to do. You're trying to give people an ordinance that would fit into. So if I'm a developer and I want a bigger use, or I want to try to do one of these things, like build something that maybe doesn't seem like it's applicable, I could assemble parcels. They do that all the time. So again, I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to promote activity, and you want to try to give as much options as you can to do it. It's up to the developer to make all of it fit together.
I'm just afraid that what I've seen, what I'm looking at here, and especially some of the changes, is that we're creating a situation where maybe we are encouraging development, but may also be allowing developers to create a situation that there's going to be unintended consequences. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say.
It's a valid concern.
You know, we want it, you know, we got to balance that. We want to encourage development, but we also don't want to, you know, give free rein. And right now, I have concerns about some of these. They don't, one change next to the other change, they don't make sense together to me. Sewer and water not being required, but then we remove a self-storage facility that doesn't need public water and sewage. But we leave other ones up there that would be water and, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. This is why we got another month to think about it though, right?
No, I believe they're going to be making a decision on this.
No, it's at the October, oh wait, we're in
October 6th.
September. My apologies, I'm sitting there thinking we're still in August.
That's all right. I will discuss it with Gretchen tomorrow, and maybe it'll, you know, reconsider some of this, postpone it.
Thank you, Dan, for including the changes that were suggested in July. We appreciate that.
There weren't that many of them either.
And for the back and forth tonight, appreciate that as well. All right, do we have, trying to think, do we need to make a recommendation on it, or can we stand by the recommendations we made in July? And
I think this is I really offered it a more FYI, and, you know, somewhat of discussion. Again, I got it this afternoon. I did not compare it. I did not even look at it. And I made a point to advise you before that I will keep everything. As soon as I get it, I'll make sure you guys have it. So I'll follow up tomorrow, and if I get an answer tomorrow, you'll have everything that I know.
Just to echo what Candy said earlier, and to and what I think this body has said numerous times in the past, it's just frustrating to. We understand that documents evolve, they change, whatnot, but it's frustrating once again to get on the day of a meeting to be provided a document, asked to make comments on the spot before it's gonna,
Okay.
without having another
Again,
chance.
that was
before.
not my purpose.
No,
And
no,
that's-
I know, I'm not, it's not you.
I understand, but my purpose was, it was not given to you to make comments on. It was to advise you that we were that additional change was made. I did not compare it. So now that you've articulated this, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. All right, because I know what Dan sent. I know what you guys gave me. I sent to them, and I'm going to find out where the mismatch is.
Anybody else have any thoughts, comments, questions on it? All right, do we have any questions, comments, concerns from the public?
Oh, are you?
You're
Okay.
good? Thank you for attending the meeting. Yeah.
You're always welcome, Daryl.
Any other correspondence or announcements? Any other discussion?
Fall Festival next weekend. Come one, come all. It's going to be the biggest and best one ever.
And I'll add that the Public Works did an amazing job on the landscaping.
Oh, they did. Outstanding.
Yeah,
Those
looks
guys
wonderful.
are, I mean, they're new and they're just fantastic. So they did an excellent job out there.
Yeah, it looks wonderful out there.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And 7:59.